I should shave, but I can't be bothered. Ooh, I should put a Star Wars shirt on too. Just to show that I'm a big fan. Here's Star Wars shirt. A bunch of Star Wars scenes in here. Bet you've probably seen a shirt before. Not that original. Standing on my chair that I originally wanted to sit on. But the setup just didn't look good with the chair, so I'm gonna be standing. And also not gonna be wearing this shirt because I normally use it for sleeping in and it doesn't look that great, so. So, now for the main part of the review. I have to say, the person that really stands up to me was the music. It was awesome. I've always been a big fan of Star Wars music. I'm gonna be rolling in the car listening to, let's be honest, probably do all the Fates, but I listen to the Imperial March. And a lot of the smaller stuff too, but I'm not gonna go into the whole playlist. But I do really enjoy listening to Star Wars music, and there's always been like a sound, somewhat of a Star Wars sound, John Williams and everything. And I also enjoy stuff from stuff that wasn't always John Williams, but this show is also really awesome. I'm already a fan of the composer anyway, so I'm not gonna get into all the details. I'll put a name somewhere because I can't pronounce his name properly. I'm tongue-tied even saying Duel of the Fates, so you get it. But really enjoyed the music. A lot of scenes, like not even the most action-packed, a lot of other scenes too. I just love the little tunes, the little stuff, the little way it was put together. It was pretty awesome. I'll probably get if I can find it somewhere, I'd listen to it, I'd buy it. Then I want to talk about visuals a little bit. I'm personally more of a screenwriter. I like screenwriting, I like editing, I like the music, I like all the other aspects. Visuals aren't the biggest thing to me. I do enjoy it. I obviously don't want something to look like crap, but I do. It's not the biggest thing to me. I'm sitting here worrying about getting my camera focused, and I've been in 7 years of film school, so hey. But yeah, visuals were very good, very awesome. Like some of the stuff, like especially in the final scenes and final shots of the final episode really stand out to me. Kind of stuff I like to have in a poster. A lot of movies have, towards the end, you always have those scenes where it's like, ooh, if I had that on like a big poster or something, it'd be awesome. So they definitely delivered on stuff like that. And then obviously stuff in space, different locations that are Star Wars stuff. I know I said this is spoilery, but I'm not really getting spoilery into it because I don't know, I probably just lied. I might edit it together differently, but anyway. I really like the visuals. And then overall story. Now, I like stuff that's a little more convoluted in terms of story. I like stuff that you haven't 100% seen before. Something that goes a little bit of a different angle with it. When I look at stories I really enjoy. Something like maybe Inception. It's not that crazy of a story, honestly. But I enjoyed what was put together and the various levels going on there. I really enjoyed that. So I will say The Mandalorian isn't crazy in terms of story. Most episodes, once you get the setup, you're going to figure out the punchline. You're going to figure out the solution, the conclusion. It was a little bit different because it's a show, and you basically, when you get to the first season finale of a show, that's when you kind of learn what type of show this is. Some shows, you get, like, say, something like iZombie. You're watching the show, you're like, oh, this is a good, funny, whatever. You're not too crazy in terms of story. And then the season finale hits, and you're like, oh, so this show's gonna be super different next season. Some shows are like that. Some shows, the season finale rolls through, and you don't even realize you saw a season finale because the show's gonna be the same regardless. Like, crazy stuff's happening, but it's not that crazy. So it was kind of unsure, like, are we going to finish the season off with the Mandalorian dying? Like, is that possible? Stuff like that left stuff up in the air, so you couldn't really tell with the final episode. Really enjoyed that. But, I don't know, I do feel like they somewhat faked out some stuff a little bit too much, in my opinion. They didn't really commit to it as much, but it's alright. I mean, we lost IG, so I can't sit here and say IG-11. I'm aware, not IG-88. But I can't say there was no consequences or no stuff that they didn't commit to. Like, they committed to that death, which, I mean, they ripped him away from us once. I guess they ripped him away from us a second time. Kind of have to deal with it. I really enjoyed him. I mean, I also really like Taika Waititi, so hey, I pronounced his name, I couldn't pronounce it, whatever. Tongue tie will affect me at different times, in different ways. But yeah, story's not too complicated. Pretty straightforward. I really enjoy it. I'm definitely interested to see where it's going to go next. It doesn't seem to set up anything too big. And obviously spoilers here, but the fact that the leader of the remains of the Empire has a Darksaber is very interesting. I mean, I already felt that as soon as, he's like, I know who this is, and they know each other by name, between Gideon and the Mandalorian. I'm not going to pronounce his name because I didn't hear it that clearly, so I'm going to butcher it regardless. But the fact that they knew each other was a little bit coincidental, but I mean, it still works. I mean, Star Wars. And when I say Star Wars, I don't mean that in a way that, it's a goofy movie for kids. I just mean there's a certain amount of, when you're telling big space-wide stories, traveling planet stuff, there's a certain amount of, the story has to have these characters interact. They're going to interact even if it doesn't, the odds of them interacting are so, it just doesn't make any sense, but they will, because you need the story to happen. You need characters, conflict, and stuff like that to happen. So I'll excuse it. I'll excuse them having some background between the two, but I don't know. I kind of was wondering if you're trying to hint that Gideon was perhaps a Mandalorian at one point and then gave up the creed. I don't know. I mean, that could be some theories. I'm not about to turn into some theory channel talking about that stuff, but who knows. But overall, anyway, I'll get into the more specific character stuff in a little bit. Gotta make sure this is still recording. So most of the characters, they went through a little story arc. That's my biggest focus normally. I'm gonna, perhaps I'll put this in introduction, but hi, I'm Sense, aspiring screenwriter, aspiring editor, aspiring musician, aspiring adult. So kind of basically my review is going to be coming from the angle of basically all of those. I mean, obviously, when I'm an aspiring adult, I'm going to be somewhat more childish about stuff. I'll be honest, my favorite character in episode 1 was Darth Maul. So, I mean, I love little Anakin. I love, Obi-Wan and Qui-Gon and everybody doing their stuff. But I'm there to see Darth Maul kill some people and look menacing and obey orders and be the best character in the movie. That's what I'm there for. I'm going to keep it real. But I do generally like story, seeing how characters move from here to there, how events affect each other, how these events were set up by other characters. I'm not a big fan of stuff just happening out of the blue, so that's why I tend not to watch disaster movies and stuff like that. I don't know. Seeing just people survive while the universe throws stuff at them isn't my biggest thing. I like seeing various characters do stuff and it goes back and forth and builds up and has this point to it. Each person has their own goal, their own vision, and they go for it. So that's me being a little overwinded, because first real review thing I'm doing here, but that's what I'm a big fan of. So now I'm going to talk about the actual characters in The Mandalorian. And I'm going to be honest, I'm not going to remember everybody's name, because I don't know, I'm bad at names anyway. I remember people's faces, but names kind of in and out. I like to remember people's full names, or I feel I don't remember them, so I'm going to sit here and say I don't remember anyone's names, not because I don't, just I don't remember their full names. So a little bit about me, but anyway, so let's start out with, like I said, this is spoilers, so IG-11, when he first was introduced, it was the best. I mean, we all knew it, we saw it in the trailers, we're all ready to see him just show up, blasting people, and have that deadpan voice to him, like his personality, but it's not, I don't know, Star Wars droids tend to be pretty, I need my voice right here. Star Wars droids tend to have like a lot of crazy over the top personality. Look at Rogue One here. I'm going to be looking at my boy K2SO, and then in Solo, and pretty much all the Star Wars movies, the droids are crazy in terms of personality. So having the IG units be that more serious type is always pretty fun. I mean, look at the regular basic battle droids in the prequel trilogy. Like, they probably have more personality than anybody. But it was pretty fun seeing this IG. Like, they had humor, they had interesting stuff happening in the situations around this character, but he wasn't really I don't know, a very quirky personality. He was pretty straightforward. He was designed this way, and he was just acting within his design parameters. So I definitely enjoyed that. But then, they killed him off pretty early, so I was like, oh, so he's not a consistent character. That's kind of sad. I was kind of hoping it, but obviously as you see a few episodes, you start to realize none of the characters are sticking there the whole time. Is it Mando? and it's the child, or the wee babby, or whatever you want to call him. I'll probably still call him Babby. Or the child. I'm not going to call him Baby Yoda because, I don't know, I don't super hate people calling him Baby Yoda and the misconceptions it creates. I just never really want to call him Baby Yoda. I mean, I guess because I grew up watching both the original trilogy and the prequel trilogy, I was already aware that there were other aliens like Yoda, so I don't know. I was not super tied to Yoda looking like Yoda. I don't know. Weird angle to it. So we started with IG-88. I really enjoyed he didn't have a huge story arc, to be honest. Started out as a walking death machine who was willing to blow himself up for the sake of his mission, which is terminating whoever he's supposed to terminate or capturing whoever he's supposed to capture, to him being a walking nurse machine who's willing to blow himself up in order to save anyone who's trying to save or protect people he must protect. So it's not too different, more is just different is what he prioritizes, I guess, which is changed by his programming. So it's not a super big moment, but it's kind of a big moment with him in relation to Mandalorian. Because, the first time he shows up, Mandalorian really had no problem shooting him in the head and walking away. I think it's just like, whatever. And then over time, through the events, all that, Mandalorian now is like, don't do it. We'll shoot our way out of here. We'll just all suicide mission this. Don't kill yourself, So that was the nice story arc there, was specifically IG, but I'm still a big fan of IG. And I was also, cheering at the beginning of episode 8 where he showed up, blast people, smashing their heads in, rolling into town, and just mowing everybody down. I really love that. So, IG, probably second favorite character of the show. It didn't show up that much, so I can't really talk too much. Let's move on to Dune. Cara Dune, I think that's her name, or her name is just Dune. I don't know. I know it's not just Dune, but that's what I'll call her. I really enjoyed her character a lot as well. I know she wasn't there the whole time because that's just the way the show's structured, but I really enjoyed it. She showed up. She was kind of set up to be kind of an enemy, but I know she didn't. I don't feel like there was a huge change in her character over time. I guess she wasn't there too much, but I did really enjoy her character when she was there and how she bounced off everybody else. And I also really enjoy the actress. I haven't been watching her since forever, but I saw her in Deadpool, so I've enjoyed whenever she's done stuff since then. And I enjoyed all her stuff there. Moving on to the next character, I'll just go right into the wee baby Yoda. I really enjoyed starting out. Again, not a massive change though. I feel like it was very interesting because this is a character who was there the whole time. And then we saw kind of helpless, but still that interesting balance of being helpless, but also be the one who helps them in so many situations. And then obviously once you get towards episode 6, I believe it was, no, 7, was the one where he actually tried to take control of the ship and fly somewhere else, or maybe just go on a joyride. I don't know. I really enjoyed seeing those little moments of growth. 50 years old, he better start pulling his weight doing something. I really enjoyed the baby's antics, I guess. The little facial expressions. I don't know. I always assumed with longer-eared characters that their ears would be more sensitive, but in episode 8, everybody was touching the baby's ears. I was like, the ears must be fine, I'm just used to, I guess, I don't know, I've never tried playing with cat ears that much, but dogs, I don't know, I guess they don't really hate it, but most of the time you just kind of tolerate it, so, I don't know. I kind of was projecting that onto Yoda. I have no, maybe, wow, I just said Yoda. Catch myself slipping. But I guess he didn't mind. Do we even know it's a he? The child? Anyway, I really enjoyed that. I also liked how that all ends. They're going to be off to find more of the species, or find Jedi, or maybe we're just seeing start up their adventures forever. I've seen fan art of the the wee babby wearing Mandalorian armor, blasting fools and doing mercenary stuff, which I wouldn't be mad at either, but hopefully we'll have a few more seasons just to figure out what's going to happen here. I was kind of thinking that might be an idea of the story arc for the season, just picking up the baby, the child, and him growing with, him being the Mandalorian, growing throughout the whole season, and then at the end, finally leaving the child and moving on to other adventures. I did kind of think they were going to go with that, but it didn't, so I don't know. I mean, it's not I'm not disappointed or frustrated or whatever. It just wasn't what I was expecting exactly, so I thought that was pretty cool, pretty interesting. All the Mandalorians being gone was not what I was expecting either, but I mean, at least they gave actress name here a chance to do some pretty cool fighting, because she showed up, she did some smithing, some other stuff, forging. Thought it was pretty cool. But I kind of felt like they would give her fighting scenes. I'm happy they did give her one, even if it's a little realistic. Then again, stormtroopers, and we all know stormtroopers are pretty much fodder. Like, this show has done a really good thing of making stuff that in the movies always seems so small, so easy. So whatever, our main characters just blow in like, oh, a bunch of AT-ATs, or AT-ATs if you call it that. Oh, let me just chop off their legs. Let me just climb up, throw them loop off, and we're done with it. We're done. Just moving on to the next thing. It's cool seeing characters who don't have that easy force, instinct, reflexes, main character, hero armor, whatever you want to call it, to be able to just deal with these easily. So even your basic chicken walkers or whatever are big threats. Like the TIE Fighter in the final episode, you're like, these things normally get mowed down, get shot up, get whatever all over the place in big fight scenes. But here it is like this big thing that everyone's just shooting at and can't even touch. So I thought that was pretty cool. I think the show in general is a good way of making these stuff that seem a lot smaller movies big. Aside from my guys, the Death Troopers. I feel like they were awesome in the movies, and they're still awesome here, despite not really being that effective. Not that they've ever been that effective, but I just love the way they always make them seem so much taller and lankier, and just walk in there and just do their thing. I really enjoyed it. Obviously, their little scrambled communications or other language, who knows, so that they're working with each other, it works. There's always a feeling that, could they just be droids in there, maybe? I always enjoyed that aspect of them. Honestly, I mean, I really enjoyed this movie, but if it wasn't for K2SO and Death Trooper over there, I wouldn't get that poster. Anyway, getting a little bit ahead of myself, let's move back to the character or story arcs. And let's even go with Grief. I mean, he didn't have a massive... He did have a big kind of change. I mean, he was friendly, he was... I mean, it's more like stuff happened to him, but he's trying to get it back to where it was in the beginning. Which, your basic thing, your status quo gets shaken up, trying to go back to it. So again, he didn't have to change himself, though, very much. Because I feel like all the stuff he did in the final couple episodes and the episodes in the beginning were all stuff he would normally do. Keep his guild up and going, keep the jobs coming in, keep making money, That's another thing I didn't 100% know if I liked was with Dune's story arc, was her ending being like an enforcer for him. It was a little weird. I don't know if I feel like she would have done that. But then again, I mean, she was just on her the other planet laying low and having fights. So being on another planet laying low and having fights still fits in her whole wheelhouse. I just don't know if she felt like being an enforcer for I mean, the guild isn't specifically bad, but they're really gray, so she might have to do stuff where it just, I don't know. But that's where it ended. I felt like it was pretty good. Hopefully she can show up in future seasons and help out somewhere along the lines. And then obviously at this point, I've danced around it, but the Mandalorian, it was pretty good. I do feel like his growth was a little bit it wasn't gradual. It was kind of like, kind of jumped, in my opinion, a little bit. You had a couple episodes of him treating the child a little roughly. But then, like, the next episode, he's, like, super tender with it. It was, like, whatever. And, like, I feel like he had it in him and it made sense, but I felt like I don't know, it felt a little abrupt, but I still liked it. I still enjoyed the biggest thing they showed changing was his big beef with droids. And then it basically come down to him, pleading with the droid not to sacrifice himself to save him. So that was pretty cool. Speaking of droids, though, you see that walking armed R2-D2? I don't know how to feel about that. It felt a little cursed, if you ask me. But I mean, it exists. It makes sense. Droids get modified and have to do all kinds of jobs, so it makes sense. But yeah, but The Mandalorian, I definitely enjoyed it. I mean, it kind of set up in the beginning with he didn't want a crest, so you knew at the end he was going to get a crest or whatever they called it. It wasn't super, I mean, it was like the Mudhorn, right? Which is something they already ran into earlier in the season, so it was a little bit like, it felt like he could have gotten it halfway through the season. Like, we could have skipped a lot of middle episodes about, honestly. Like, we could have had like episode 1, 2, maybe 3. 3. And then go straight to like 7, 8, really. Not that I'm mad about that. I know some people were kind of like, this season was a lot of filler. Kind of true, but at the same time, it would have been super abrupt for some of the stuff with the Mandalorian and how he's changed over time if we went straight from 3 to 7. Like, that would have been really abrupt. So I like that we had some time there. Besides, I really liked episode 6. I really like stuff that really shows the broad world of Star Wars. Even if it's, just in people saying stuff like that, I really enjoy it. Ooh, the Client. Client's another character I really enjoyed. Show me the baby. I like to see the baby. We can be quiet. Very good character. Again, though, he's just kind of like a small town overlord guy. People give him various theories for his history and all that. It's all interesting. We don't even know his name. He's just the Client. It's kind of like earlier, the beginning of the show kind of started out that way. People were called the Client, the Child, the Gunslinger, whatever. That was another episode that wasn't really very important. Ooh, that reminds me, they never did settle up what happened at the end of the Gunslinger. Because, Ming-Na Wen's character died, and then you had this mysterious booted character who I assume is Gideon. Why was he out there picking up someone? I'm not 100% sure. Season 2 theories. Maybe I should just make a video about season 2 theories. I mean, I already have enough random ones popping up. Also, the episodes were pretty short, for like, half an hour, 35 minutes long in some cases. It really wasn't a big issue for me. I feel like your story episode length should be what the whole story needs. Like, none of the episodes specifically dragged in my book. Like, each episode, I was enjoying it, and then it ended. And then we're on to the next episode. I'm kind of saying it this way because I binged most of the show. I watched episode 1 back a couple weeks after it came out, and then started episode 2, but life had to move. A whole lot of stuff happened. So I wasn't able to stick with the show through the whole, every week, see all the discussion, see all the excitement. I ended up basically Christmas Eve. It was kind of a slow day around here, and so I just ended up laying back on the couch and binging episodes 3 through, I kind of finished 2 somewhere along the line. I just had to watch in like 10-minute chunks over several days. And then episode 3 through 7 was binged in one sitting. Enjoyed them all. Again, I kind of get it. I guess if you watch it week by week, you might feel like each episode was kind of a bit of filler, but watching it all together, I really enjoyed it. I also really loved episode 6. Boy, McNulty. Butchering names left and right. But yes, I have spoken. Very tragic. I'm happy they gave him a little gravestone at the end, at least. But man, that's what got me by episode 7. Ended with that shot of him just there. It was pretty harsh. Very good show. I mean, honestly, I spent probably the last half of Christmas Eve being a little bit of a bummer because of episode 7 of the show. It was very good movie telling, in my opinion. Something that grabs you like that and makes you feel. I also really enjoyed 6. I'll just get around to singing it. I like seeing a bunch of gangsters, a lot of characters. I really like the Ocean 11. I was about to say the Ocean 11 movies. I don't hate 12. I don't hate 11, 12, or 13. Well, I do hate the one where most of the movie's pretty pointless. You're watching a bunch of stuff happen just for the ending to be like, well, guess what? And all of it was people just acting for another person, which is technically acting for the camera, so it was literally a big charade you were just watching for no reason. I don't like that one at all. But the other 2 are okay. I think it's 7 or 8, Ocean, whatever the 4th one was that he made more recently. But 11's, I really like that. Just introducing you to characters, giving you little clips into their personalities and the way they interact with each other, giving you this idea of a history or this idea of a world. I just love stuff like that. It's a big thing for me. I like having stories that allow me to fill in all the gaps of my imagination. Again, why I say Maul's one of my favorites and one of the reasons why I rushed out to buy a bunch of books about him. I didn't see any of the Star Wars movies until after 3 came out. So I saw all 6 pretty close to the same time. I saw them in episode 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, in case people are, all up in arms about that. But that's one of the first ones that made me rush out there. I also rushed out there to read some other books about Obi-Wan and stuff, but I like reading books, so I am going to be someone I dove into the extended universe. Kind of basically since Disney wiped it out, or Lucasfilms, whatever, wiped it out. I haven't really done it as much. I just hate all these books and shows and whatnot. The stuff I enjoyed are just not really real, so I've not really been into that as much. But conclusion, yes, watch it. Like I said, 4 out of 5. Good characters, good music. Music is just good. I don't know. I'm gonna keep saying it, but so many of the scenes, I'm just watching the scene, I'm like, ooh, this is good. Then I notice my head bobbing, my toe tapping. I'm just like, feel my heart beating along with the beat. No, it's not that crazy, but I definitely enjoyed it. I definitely recommend it. So yeah, I think that's my longer spoiler filled. Not really that spoilery, to be honest. I feel like I left out a lot of big stuff that I could have talked about. I just want to say a few other things I enjoyed. Music, obviously. But I also really enjoyed, all the stuff that's small in the movies being bigger. I enjoyed that a lot. The Death Troopers coming in like crazy. The Flame Trooper, I don't know if that's what they're called, but the Flame Trooper coming in, that music, we just walked in like, all right, let's get this thing done. Light him up. I just love that as well. But yeah, very good show. Highly recommend. I'm out. I don't ever do outros or intros, really. I just start stuff the way I wanted to. At least that's what I did in the past. I'm probably going to do that now, too. So, Happy New Year. IMDb, save me. Dang, I didn't wipe this card first, did I? I think ahead. I don't know why I have walk this way stuck in my head, but hey. That's just me. But woo. Hey. But the music, I'm just gonna have to say that a lot.